And I think we're... Hey, I think we're live. I think we're live. Oh, we're live. I did it again. Unbelievable. Hey, looks like there's a delay in the camera, but thank you for tuning in again. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to just check in here. EJ says, hello EJ, glad to hear you. I'm in a different room today because I like this room better. It's better than my other office was very dark, and this one's great. Renee Gregory, hello to you. So while we're getting going here, I guess I wanted to start with talking a little bit about I've recorded a couple videos today for next week, and the first one was, and by the way, if you've got questions, post them in the chat, and I'll be happy to kind of just answer them as we're going through this. Hi Eddie, EJ, thank you. I appreciate that you love my stuff. I promise I'm not paying EJ to say that. Basically what I want to do today is go ahead and ask your questions in the chat, and I want to talk about some of the videos that are going to be coming up next week. So basically the two videos that I want to talk about next week are, number one, I want to talk about Article 13. If you don't know what Article 13 is, it's what's going on in the European Union right now. The Parliament passed Article 13. I think it's been renamed Article 17, and there's some legalese with that. And basically what that says is, previously, if somebody posted content online and there was a copyright violation, then the person who owned the copyright could bring it to the attention of the sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. It's hard to do this and look at the chat at the same time. I'm still trying to figure that out. Eddie, I'll get to your question in just a second here. So basically, under old law, if you're the copyright holder, you bring it to the attention of, let's say, YouTube takes down the infringing material. And there's actually an entire section in the YouTube channel for copyright violations. So you can deal with that. Under the new law, now YouTube, as the person or as the company that is posting the material, can be held liable for the copyright violation as well. And so obviously there's a lot of problems with that. So that's something I'm going to talk about during the first video I'm going to be posting this week. The other video I'm posting this week is going to be talking about how to validate your business idea. And so I'm toying with a little idea here of, if I'm doing 2 videos a week, one video being really on legal commentary and advice and how to protect your business, and the second video on how to kind of grow and build something that really matters. And that's kind of the new slogan that I'm going with my with the channel, is really to teach you how to protect your business so that you can grow something that matters, because that's what really is important to all of us, right? We all want to build something that's bigger than us, that's amazing, that's something that can really make a difference in the world. At least that's what I want to do. I want to change the way legal services are delivered by providing all this content and helping people out in this way, and versus the one-to-one interaction that so many lawyers do, where they charge a big retainer and then they give advice and they bill hourly and things like that. I want to kind of turn that model on its head with what I'm doing with Hawthorne Law, and that's kind of the goal. So let's jump into some of the questions. Before launching an online business, must we have an LLC first? So that is actually, Eddie, the reason why I'm doing the second video this week, which is talking about how to validate your business idea. It really came up during the live stream that we had last week, where somebody asked, do they need to form an LLC for every single business idea they have? And the answer to that is no. And I did a couple of videos about that also in the past several weeks, where we talk about, you really want to validate that idea first. And that is really that is why I'm posting this video this week on how to validate your idea, because it's important. You don't want to go spending a lot of money forming an LLC and everything when you just are getting started and you don't even know if your business is going to make any money yet. EJ says, how important is a registered agent? How can I get one cheaply? It's very important. You have to have a registered agent if you're forming a business entity. And I think, hold on a second. I think the company that I refer, I have an affiliate relationship with this company. They do a lot of LLCs for me in states where I'm not licensed to practice law. It's called, here's the link. I just posted a link there. Follow-up question. I just checked with LegalZoom and they're charging an extra $300 on top of the state fee, but I was told I can do it myself and save the $300. What are your thoughts? I don't know what, Eddie, I don't know what LegalZoom is offering you. Obviously, they need to get paid for something. Whatever they're doing for you. I don't know if they're doing just the articles of incorporation or the articles of organization, if they're providing you with other documents or things like that. So I really don't know. InkFile is the service that I typically recommend, and let me just make sure that link works. Let's see. Yes, that link works. So hawthornelaw.net/incorporate. I'm almost certain that they provide registered agent services. My internet's a little slow here because of the live stream that's going on, but I do. That's an interesting question. I see a lot of people that do that, especially chiropractors. Some lawyers do that. I know one lawyer in particular who, instead of having his lawyers drive to court in their personal car, he has bought 2 cars for the law firm and has the lawyers drive the law firm vehicles to court. And the reason they do that is because, number one, they practice all over the state, and so they're driving a lot. And number two, he doesn't have to reimburse the employees for mileage if they use the company car. So a link for Eddie. I think the link, if you look above, hold on a second. I'm still learning how to use this platform. Yeah, this is the that's the link that you can go to. So anyway, back to Jor's question about the cars. I mean, if you can use your personal car, or you can buy a different car for the business. I guess it's up to you and your finances and what you can afford to do. I know a lot of people that do that, and usually it's their personal car. If you use your personal car, there's liability issues that are associated with that. It's going to vary by state. So, I don't know. I guess it depends on what your comfort level is with that. I've never got that question before. I'm not really sure. I have a digital marketing agency. How much do you charge for consultations? Samuel, we have, if you click on, hold on a second. I think if you go to that website, Samuel, there's a link to schedule a consultation with me. It's I think right now it's $97 for half an hour. I would do it for free, but I have too many people to call. Do you have to include LLC on a logo? I don't know. You do not need, Renee, you do not need to include LLC in your logo. Your formal business name needs to have LLC, but when you're doing it in a logo or a DBA or something like that, you don't always need to include the LLC in that. It's, again, that's a state issue, so depending on what state you're located in, that may differ. So, all right. So, what I was talking about before I got into all these questions is so Article 13 passed in the European Union, big problem. I'm not happy about it. I'm sure most creators are not happy about it. And I'm curious, I don't know if I can do a poll here. Can I do a poll? I don't think I can do a poll. Yeah, no, I can't do a poll. I'd like to know what type of businesses all of you are operating. It sounds like we've got a whole different mishmash of people here, which is kind of cool. So EJ says, I'm starting a tax and bookkeeping business, currently a sole proprietor. How do I know when to start an LLC? Is there a profit threshold? Yeah, so going back to whose question was at the beginning? Let's see. Eddie's question at the beginning. I would say the threshold is if you can validate your business idea and you're actually making money from your business, then I think it's time to incorporate. And then an LLC is what most people start as, and then as you go on, later on, you can file what's called an S corporation election, which is a taxing status for your business, and you can change up and become an S corp, and that'll save you some money in taxes. But there's additional administrative fees that go along with that, which is why most people, I don't recommend they do it until they're making around $50,000 or so. 7 ALH. If I'm an artist and want to be paid under my artist name, do I need a DBA? No, you don't need to. It's a good idea, but it's not necessary. If you're just operating as a sole proprietor, you can be paid as a sole proprietor. That's fine too. The reason why you would do that, I mean, even as a sole proprietor, you can file a schedule. I'm not an accountant. I can't remember the exact schedule. It's a Schedule C or Schedule D. I'm not sure. And you can list your business income and expenses just like you would for an LLC if you had an LLC on your personal tax return. And so even if you're paid personally, you can do it that way. Now, I always recommend at a minimum at least starting a separate bank account for the business. Even if you're not going to form a corporate entity right away, form a separate bank account for the business so that you can deposit all the income from the business into that. Like, for example, for YouTube, right now I get some AdSense revenue, not a whole lot, and I get some money from some consults here and there. Again, not a whole lot. I segregate all that away from my personal and from my main law firm. My law firm is where I make the most of my income. YouTube is secondary to that, and so I have an entirely separate bank account where I deposit all the earnings from YouTube into that bank account, and then I use that to pay for equipment and things like that if I need to. If at some point I'm going to upgrade. If you believe it or not, I'm still using my iPhone to shoot videos. I would like to switch to Toujours 4, thank you. I was thinking of the liability aspect when asking about using the car for advertising. For example, does that mean that the car should then be registered under your business or your name? So yeah, that's exactly right. So if you own the car and you get in an accident, it's your fault, then you can have a number of problems there. Because, now I think about it, because there could be exclusions in your insurance policy, your personal insurance policy for work-related expenses, and so you might need to buy a special rider for your insurance policy to say, hey, I'm using this car for work purposes. Otherwise, you could be held personally liable if you were in an accident. So yeah, that is a big issue because typically commercial insurance is going to be a little bit more expensive than personal insurance, and so you want to make sure you take care of that. EJ, difference between an LLC and a PLLC, not really sure what mechanical differences are besides one is for a particular service. So the difference is, so like my law firm is a PA, which means a professional association. That's different than an Inc., which means incorporated. So my law firm is set up as a corporation, and because it's a PA, it's a professional association because I'm an attorney. So attorneys, accountants, doctors, chiropractors, different businesses like that have some sort of professional license, they are designated as, that would be a PLLC as opposed to an LLC, if that makes sense. So if my goal is I'm going to spin off Hawthorne Law as a different DBA. I may form a separate LLC for it. Right now everything's just operating under my law firm, but I may spin it all off. I'm going to form, and this is in large part because of the changes to the tax code from 2018, where now there's a cap on what lawyers can earn with the self-employment deduction, but there's no cap on marketing services. So if I set up Hawthorne Law as something that's providing coaching services, legal coaching services, obviously I can't give legal advice to anyone that's outside of the state of North Carolina or Florida where I'm licensed. Then there's no cap on the self-employment deduction. So Eddie Jackson, at EJ, I'm not Eddie. I think you were responding back to somebody else. Thanks for your legal advice. I have to go. I have another 10:30 commitment. I'll check out your vids on YouTube. Thanks again. You're welcome, Eddie. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. To George, thank you. I appreciate that as well. So let's see. So I'm curious what people think about the idea of, well, hold on a second. Does anonymity really exist when creating a business? I've seen people offering those services that act as the trustee and then quit, but how do you prevent them from having access to bank accounts? I'm not sure what the question is there, DL. I'm not... I mean, does anonymity really... Yeah, it can. You can set everything up. There are legal ways to set things up. You probably would need an attorney to do it. But yeah, you can do it so things are anonymous. Certainly. It is possible. Jennifer, hello from Atlanta. Hopefully you're having a nice day there. I'm in North Carolina. We're having a beautiful, it's like 71 and sunny right now on my, at least that's what my Apple Watch is telling me. How is it anonymous if you have to register with the Secretary of State? Well, because you don't necessarily have to be the one that registers the business. You could have an incorporator register for you who's not necessarily a business owner. And then you can have a company serve as the registered agent so that you're not being served personally, and you can have a business address that's not your personal address. So there's different ways to set it up. Is it going to be completely anonymous? I'm not sure. It's going to depend on your state and what your state releases and what they don't release. What are my views on outsourcing from Toujours 4 using overseas remote workers? What are your obligations then as an employer? I'm all for outsourcing. I've done it in the past. I don't currently have any virtual assistants working for me, but I have done it in the past. And as an employer, I think your obligation, if you're basically hiring them as a contractor, just as you would anyone else, and you'd probably issue them a 1099, and you know, it's if you're talking about, I mean, a lot of people do it. I know lawyers that do it. I know lawyers that literally outsource their entire law firm to workers overseas, and they're running a law firm here in the States. So it's possible, it's legal, there's ways to do it that are completely fine and above board. Bible prophecy talk. On an operating agreement, can you write one up yourself based on a template, or is it best to have an attorney write one up? You know, well, as a lawyer, I would say selfishly you should have a lawyer write it up, but honestly, most people can do it. I have one for sale. on Gumroad, so you can get access to that. I may do something where I do an add-on for that, provide a video showing how to fill it out, but it's pretty straightforward, which is why I haven't done that yet. But you can use that. EJ, I handle a lot of PII. How important is cybersecurity? I'm not sure what PII is. So I think cybersecurity insurance is very important. I know I was just talking to another attorney recently who has that type of insurance. If you have a risk that you could lose something, then you probably want, if you've got an insurable risk, there's a reason for insurance. It all depends on what your potential liability is. What are the steps to create an anonymous corporation the proper way? I mean, DL, I would say go talk to a lawyer. You can do it yourself, but again, that's what lawyers are for. They can be a third party that does things on behalf of their clients and can make sure their clients are protected the right way. I don't know that I can give you that legal advice here that there's very specific things that you would need to do, and every state's a little bit different, and so you're going to need to talk to a lawyer about that. Eddie Jackson. Whoa, didn't you get off the call, Eddie? Maybe you came back. I'm glad to have you back. Whoa, just scanned some of your video titles. Great stuff. Why don't you put together an online course, market and sell it? If you need help, let me know. Yeah, I'm actually thinking about that. That's the subject. I'm putting together a Kickstarter campaign right now for a relatively inexpensive online course I'd like to do. I just want to make sure it's something that people will be interested in. Sorry I had to step away. I missed your answer. Do you do consultations? I'm in New Jersey for my new digital marketing agency. Thanks so much. Sorry for the repetition. I do legal coaching consults, Samuel, so I can't give advice on New Jersey law, for example, but I can give advice on the different legal aspects of starting a business. I can give advice on intellectual property issues that are federal law and things of that sort. And also there's a lot of, the internet's a weird beast because it's in all 50 states, and so it's a little bit different than if I was giving legal advice to a mom and pop store that opened up in Trenton, for example, if that makes sense. So yeah, and that's another reason why the consult fee is so low. My normal consult fees for clients that come see me here in North Carolina and they do a sit down for face-to-face is $250 an hour. Let's see. Personal identifiable information. Yeah, I mean, what I do, I have a virtual private network set up. So this all goes to a virtual private network. I'm talking to EJ again. I think that's always information. I think I've got a general liability policy on my insurance for my law firm that's separate and apart from malpractice insurance, and I don't know if there's a rider for that on there or not. But yeah, that's certainly something that's important, especially if you're handling Social Security numbers, medical records, things like that. There can be HIPAA regulations as well. Jennifer, in helping small biz with marketing, I did a scope of work contract as a freelancer, but the owner wants me to register as an LLC. I'm only making a few $100s. Why would he suggest I get an LLC? I don't know. Every business owner is different. I don't know that you need to do that, but he may want it for liability reasons. I would ask him, why does he need you to do that if you're just doing some freelance, a little bit of freelance work for him. Let's see. The Baby's Booty. Nice name. Can I operate my customizing business under my husband's EIN? Well, are you the same business? If you're not the same business, I would do it under a separate, I'd have a separate business for everything. I have your, you could, but if that's not the business he's in, I don't know enough about that. As a branch, I don't know. EJ, I'd love to see a Udemy course on stuff you do. How would a Kickstarter work? Well, Kickstarter, basically, I put together it's still in the process of, evidently when you do stuff with Kickstarter, you actually they have to make sure that you're actually a real person, and that you're not just trying to scam people, so they do like a background check or something. So right now they're in the process of doing that. I imagine I'll come back in a couple days and tell me it's okay. And then basically I put up a page that talks about what I'm trying to do and what I'd like to teach with the e-course. It's going to be an e-course, book. I'm going to put it on Thinkific, I believe, and I'm just looking for people to help invest in that and help me along as I write it and let me know things they're interested in, things they're not interested in, and I've got multiple layers of people that can contribute for as little as $10, and so I'll post a link next week when it goes live. It sounds like there is some interest here as well. 13 pounds. Is that 13 pounds? Using personal seed money to start my LLC. Could I pay myself back at some point as a loan repaid or dividend? Yes, absolutely. I had a couple, with my law firm, I've been in business for about 15 years, and from time to time I have a slow month and I have to take money out of my personal savings to, pay for law firm expenses, and my bookkeeper codes it as a loan to the firm. So, or a loan to the firm, loan from the firm. Anyway, it's a loan that the firm has to pay back, and that's how we do that. So yes, you can absolutely do that. Or it can be operating capital that you're contributing to the LLC. You could, when you do your operating agreement at the end, it says how much money you're contributing as a member, and that could be some of the capital you're contributing. Jennifer, thank you. You're welcome. The baby's booty, thanks. You are welcome. Can you provide a link under this video to your operating agreement? Thank you. Yeah, give me a sec. Hold on. Like I said, my internet connection is a little slow, but I have it, I believe. While I'm finding that, let me see what other questions we got here. All right, so that's the other question I got right now. Keep bringing them. If you got more questions, I've got probably another half hour or so I'm happy to keep going. Operating agreement. Here you go. There you. Oh shoot, that's not it. Delete that. Yeah, Bible prophecy. Let me know. Let's see. What other questions do people have? Money Boy Films. Money Boy in the building. I tell you what, I don't talk to my normal clients like this when they're meeting with me in person. This is fun. I think this is right. There you go. There's a link to the operating agreement if you want to get that. I think it's $27. I think. Hi from California. Great questions and great advices. Thank you. You're very welcome to yours. EJ, thank you for everything you do. I'd like to do something similar one day for small business tax. You're an excellent inspiration. Awesome. I love it. DL, I'm a trucker. How do I research on specific major mega carriers, find out how and why they are successful? Ooh. Everyone here hit the like button. That's right, baby's booty. Do it. I'd find an owner of a trucking company and take them to lunch. Honestly, that's what I do when I want to get, when I'm looking for people that, when I see somebody I really like that's doing a really good job in business, I just reach out to them and see if I can talk to them. If they're not too busy, hopefully. There's a couple other lawyers on YouTube that I've reached out to. Hoping to speak with them and do collaborations. I don't know if I mentioned this on a previous video. I can't remember, but I'm actually right now trying to get some connections going with some other YouTubers and do some collaborations in terms of with lawyers on the channel, bringing people on that do different things that can add to my audience, and hopefully I can add to theirs as well. What's your opinion on buying a virtual address to keep home address off Florida SunBiz? Yeah, Florida, they do have a lot of stuff. I guess you'd rent a virtual address. I actually, I don't know if I talked about this last week on the live chat, but something that's a long-term goal of mine is to open up a satellite office in Florida and have a portion of my law firm down there. What we'd probably do is I'd find another lawyer or somebody that's doing business down there that might let me rent a suite from them for like $50 a month or something. Is a good way to do it. Or there's services that can have an address and forward your mail. You got to be careful though. For your registered agent, you need a physical address at that location, which is why I typically recommend. I think it's like $150 a year to hire a registered agent through the link that I put. If you go up here, there's another link, and you can use that, and then you'll have the registered agent taken care of anyway. Can I make my own articles of organization for Basic LLC, or do I need someone like you or CPA to help me? With Jennifer, I think you mentioned that you're in Georgia. Most of the states, you can fill those out either online or they've got a fillable PDF that you can use. In North Carolina, that's the case. In Florida, that's the case. I don't know what Georgia has. I'm not going to be able to look it up right now, but that's what I would do. I would just go to the Georgia Secretary of State and see if they do. The issue isn't so much filling out the articles of organization, although you want to make sure you do that correctly. The issue is making sure you have an operating agreement and you've done all the other corporate things that you need to do to make sure that your business is valid and doesn't have any problems. Let's see, Moneyboy Films, thanks for the shout. I really like your channel. Well, I really liked the name of your handle there. Bible Prophecy Talk, what type of law do you specialize in? Well, we're not allowed to say specialist in North Carolina, but I have a family law. It's completely different. I have a family law practice, so I help people get divorced. And so this, doing this YouTube, and this is an outlet, is a really great outlet for me. I really enjoy this, and honestly, my hope here is that that I can build this into a business that I can continue to create and do more of, so that I can actually, stop practicing law and with my family law and divorce practice. That's kind of the goal. Getting a little real with you. And by the way, this is going to be unlisted. So unless you're, I don't have right now. I have to get up to 30,000 subs to allow you to join my channel, and then I can do different perks like share private channels and things like that. I'm not there yet. I'm trying to figure out. There might be a way. I think what I might do is unlist this playlist of the live trainings that we're doing every week, and then this is something that you might want to think about. Here's another link of something I just started today, actually. This is it's a private Slack channel, and so I may post resources and things like that in there. It's free. You don't have to pay me for it, but you can get in there. I'm not going to be giving legal advice or anything like that in that channel, but it is a way where you can talk, ask questions, and maybe I can provide additional resources and help. So anyway, let's see. Where was I at? EJ, as an enrolled agent, can I guide people through LLC creation, or must a lawyer licensed? Yeah, you got to be really careful. It's going to depend on the state you're in. Some states, like Arizona, you can be a licensed document preparer. Other states, there's definite requirements. North Carolina is very stringent. You have to have a website, and it has to meet certain requirements to do that. I don't know that you can do that without being a licensed attorney, because It's considered the unlicensed practice of law, which can get you in a lot of trouble. So you do need to be very careful, but in certain states you can be a document preparer, and in North Carolina they do have rules for that about what you need to do. I don't know what other states require. R. Garner 526, would starting a holding company be a good idea when just starting out in business? I'm currently doing voiceovers but looking to expand into real estate and wealth management. I mean, I think that is a good idea. I think if you're making money and it justifies the expense of forming the LLC, yeah, I would absolutely say that's something you should do. And then you can kind of go from there. Ben Bills, how you doing today? I'm doing good. How are you? Looks like you're laughing. The baby's booty. Hey, you're an NC. I'd love to have a face-to-face consultation on specific questions. I'd love to ask them. Absolutely. Use the contact form that I posted earlier. Hawthornelaw.net/contact. I don't know where you're at. I'm in Cary, so outside of Raleigh. Let's see, what other questions do people have? This has been a good call today. It started off a little rocky. We had some technical issues, but got through that. Yeah, this has been good. Did you need to register an operating agreement, or is it something that stays fluid? I'm in Seattle. No, that's something that actually is completely. It's a living, breathing document. You can change it. It's for your records, and it's for your records in the event that you get sued. That you can show that you actually that you had rules that you had to follow as part of your business. So it does not get filed. It does not get recorded anywhere. It's not public record. It's completely private. So yeah, you're good to go there. In Charlotte. Well, if we can't do face-to-face, we can do a Zoom consult. Typically for people that schedule consults with me, a lot of times I'll do it via Zoom for those half-hour consults, so I'd be happy to do that. I need to come out there, though. I need to go to the IKEA. We don't have an IKEA here. They were supposed to build something. They were supposed to build an IKEA in Cary, and it fell through. But no, it's not that far. It's like 2.5 hours from. I'm on the east or western side of Raleigh. So, what are optional provisions? Is that something that can be included in your operating agreement? What do you mean by optional provisions? I'm not sure what that mean. What you mean by that? R. Garner 526. I like Florence. I like Florence, Italy. Let's see. All right, let's see here. I've never been to Florence. I'm working on drafting various engagement letters for my clients. Any commonly missed items in drafting those? EJ, I don't know what you're trying to do. As an enrolled agent, what are you working in front of the IRS or something? Not quite sure. Get tracked. You know, I've never actually been to IKEA. I've got some referral sources here that have some furniture. I asked them where they got it, and they said IKEA, and they said you need to rent a truck to go out there. But evidently, there's now people that will deliver for you on Craigslist. But I've heard it's like a whole day thing. So anyway, let's see. What other questions do people have? Anything else that we missed today? I mean, tell me what you think. Do you like this? Do you like the idea of the e-course and the e-business, or the e-business, the e-book or the course on Thinkific? Is that something that you would back or be interested in seeing more of? Let me know. Post in the chat there if you're still paying attention. We still got some people on here. It looks like, we got about 20 people. That's great. That's a lot more than I would have anticipated. About day trading stocks. Well, like the legal aspects of day trading stocks. So, what specifically would you have questions on there? I know a guy that does courses on that. Yeah, I guess EJ, I would need to know more about what you're trying to do, and I don't know nearly enough about your business at this point. Optional provisions or additional protections in an operating agreement to do a specific. Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah, Argon. You can always put additional stuff in there, depending on your specific business. Henry Ofubu. Yes, what's your question, Henry? I missed today. Anchor Sing. I missed today's live. Yeah, go ahead and sign up. Anchor. I'm going to post another link here. Hold on a sec. This is great. I would support the equal. Great, thank you. Love this. I would love to refer you to my followers. Does anybody else that's here on the live show today? Does anyone have a YouTube channel that they want to do a collaboration? I'm curious about that. Just whatever you can tell me as far as performing trading in LLC and taxes. Yeah, I can add that to the list of things to ask to do a video on. Yeah, Ben, tell me a little. If you want to tell me a little bit more about what you're doing, I'd be happy to look into that. Other than you can do it in your LLC, you're going to pay capital gains taxes on it, and income on whatever dividends you receive. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you about that. Henry, I was discouraged from opening an LLC because I was told that I can only get a 2% profit at the end of the month. I don't know what that means, Henry. You can take as much profit out of your business as you want. There's no restriction, unless you're in a different country where there is a restriction. The baby's booty. EJ, when it comes to paying for legal services, does the price necessarily reflect quality? In your personal opinion as a lawyer? No, not always. You can pay very little and get bad service, or get good service, depending. And you can pay a whole lot and get terrible service and get good service. It's funny because my barber, he's an immigrant. He's a citizen now, but he hired a lawyer, and he said to do his immigration work, and he paid like $3,000 and didn't have a problem, and his attorney was great and no issues. And his brother went through the same process with a different lawyer and paid like 5 times that much and is still having issues. So I think it depends. Baby's booty. Please, my followers are all custom apparel folks. Please, part sell online, other parts sell in person or at shows. Yeah, that's if you'd like to do a collab, let me know. Sign up for that Slack community and send me a private message in there. That'd be a good way to do it. Let's see, what else? Any other questions that people have? To make your S Corp election, there's strict deadlines on when you need to do it, and depending on when you formed the business, what part of the calendar year it is. And so basically, there's an IRS form that you use to make S election status, and if you miss the deadline for this year, then I think it's 120 days from the beginning, so you might have until April to file, but then it just goes into effect next year. Art Garner 526. Actually, I'm in the work of building a YouTube anchor channel. The focus will be for voiceover artists just getting into the business and needing help with the business side. Okay. They always have business online question. Yeah, I'd love to do a collab with you, Baby's Booty. That'd be great. I am not like OJ's lawyer. That's funny though. Although he was a good one. He was a good one. He got him off, right? So, unless you're talking about the lawyer for his recent, now he's in prison for. Did he get out? He might have gotten out. But he was in prison for armed robbery or something. Something I can't remember. Sending you a message in Slack. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to get onto Slack until I get off this call, but awesome. Any other questions people have? I'm probably going to have to jump here soon. My wife called me earlier and said that our daughter has a fever, and it's a beautiful day here, so she wants to get our boys out of the house to do something, and she can't leave because our daughter has a fever. Poor girl. All right. Well, I think if I don't see any other questions, I'm probably going to hop off. If you like what I'm doing here, let me know. I'd be happy to do another one of these next week. Since this is a relatively new format for me, I'm going to need to check my schedule each week. I don't have this as a recurring event yet that I'm doing, but we just got a couple more questions popped in. Can you give a phone consultation or Zoom consultation to state your own practice? Yeah, I call that legal coaching, and I can give advice on legal practice areas in general, just legal guidance. I can't give specific advice on state law, but there's a lot of, especially when you're dealing with business, there are a lot of general legal principles that kind of flow across all the states, and so a lot of business lawyers, even though they can't necessarily give advice on state-specific law and sign documents in certain states, they can give advice to clients that have businesses in multi-states. So it's a little bit different for business lawyers. Henry, I'm from Nigeria and have made all arrangements to open Nevada LLC with about. I don't know the question, Henry. I did an article about why I don't recommend that people from outside the United States open LLCs. Typically, we recommend C corporations for that. Ben Bills, damn, I can't remember what you said. Oh yeah, I'm not OJ's lawyer. Keep them coming. Good. I think you meant to say Melvin. I love what you're doing. Yep, please, can be very informative. I need the help. Thank you. Yes, thank you for your help. Hope your child feels better. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. I think there's a little bit of a delay between when I ask questions and when you come on. So, anyway, I think that did we get dropped at some point? It looks like we got dropped. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I think that today we've run our course. So I'm going to be posting 2 weeks in the coming, or 2 weeks, 2 videos in the coming week about, like I said, one's going to be about Article 13, the other one's going to be about validating your business idea, and then we'll do another one of these next Friday. Toujours, yes, I haven't quite figured that out. I got to figure out a way to do that. I like doing phone calls better. But that's it for today. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great weekend, and we will be back next week. Have a good one, folks. Bye-bye.